Howdy everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Stockshow Confidential. I'm Terry Jordan. This week we return to the State Fair of Texas. Behind me you see the legendary Big Tex. Well, last year tragedy struck here in the closing moments of the State Fair where Big Tex burned to the ground. But as you can see, he's back bigger and better. We're going to take you inside the barn, show you the cattle, the goats, the pigs, and then we're going to round it out with the shootout. A new event coming to the State Fair. You're not going to want to miss that. 4 states going heads up in horse competition. It's going to be a good one. Don't go anywhere. The State Fair of Texas makes its home in Dallas, Texas. This fair posts the highest attendance of any state fair in the United States. State Fair of Texas began in 1886 as a way for Texans to gather and celebrate concerts, racing stock, cattle sales, and farm machinery. The fair thrived, and in the 1950s, the fair established its first international livestock show and its beloved Big Tex. At this year's Youth Livestock Auction of Champions, the top hogs, broilers, goats, lambs, and steers will be sold, totaling more than 250 animals. That money and all those scholarships are more than enough motivation to bring the top animals and exhibitors from all across the state.
Okay, all right. We can go ahead and we can walk them. You guys want to walk them?
I think it's just an awesome steer show. I was delighted with the kind of cattle we had to work with in every class and the kinds we were able to come with out here in your championship and your final deal. Bobby May told me the other day, he said, you know, we're really lucky we get to do the kind of things that we're able to do here in the United States. And of course, I feel lucky today because I'm out here in the middle of some of the very best steers that you have here in Texas. I feel lucky because I've had the opportunity to work with you young people. So just keep on doing what you're doing. You all are doing so good down here, and it's just always a pleasure to come back and work with such a great set of young people. Let's give this young lady down here a nice hand. This will be our grand champion steer this year.
Congratulations to you.
And that is the champion heavy other breeds and horses shown by Sage Martin of Oakland County, 4-H.
Well, something just happened here at the State Fair of Texas that we don't think has ever happened before. You know, last year your brother came in and won it. This year it was Sage Martin's time to take top honors. Now Sage, tell me about this calf. What's his name?
Corn dog.
Now I guess that's kind of fitting for it to be at the State Fair of Texas, because did you know that's where the corn dog started, was right here in Dallas, Texas?
Yes, sir.
So tell everybody what grade you're in.
5th.
5th grade. And how long have you been showing steers?
2nd.
2nd year? Yeah. Well, did Stock give you a little lesson or two before you came, or you just did all this on your own?
Did all this on my own.
You know, you got a really good support team, your mom and dad. You guys spend a tremendous amount of time in the barns, because you don't win these shows when you come here, you win them back home. So y'all spend a lot of time working and practicing, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, good luck. Brother and sister back to back at the State Fair. Congratulations. Thanks for sitting down with us on Stockshow Confidential. Congratulations.
When it comes to the livestock industry, nobody has more pride for their products than Sullivan Show Supply. Our products are handmade by many retired farmers right here in America. And for them, this isn't just a job, it's their lifestyle. We work hard to produce the highest quality products in the industry for every family like ours that raise, breed, and show livestock. So check us out at sullivansupply.com.
Well, welcome back to Stockshow Confidential. Right now inside the main arena is the Prospect Steer Show. Now these animals were brought in strictly for competition and will continue on their show career. We'll see many of these fine animals at all the major shows all across the country. Competition at a show like this is tight. 16 breeds compete for their chance at the Grand Drive. Each exhibitor has come here with the intent to win the show and set the tone for a great show season. We're set up at the Grand Drive, and our judge, Shane Bedwell, has many fine animals to choose from.
This show has been as advertised. Just sounds good cattle, and I think a lot of different ways we can go out here. I enjoyed sorting through. This young man brought this solid black steer in, and I loved him from the start. It is built so nice in terms of his skeleton. He's deep enough, and he's square enough, and bold enough in terms of his rib, and just that one's look and his balance there from the side, I absolutely like. Great job, young people. I'm going to go get you the two that I like. Congratulations, and thank you. You know, it's a true honor to come down here to the State Fair of Texas and be one of the judges at this year's show. We had an incredibly good prospect show. We judge these cattle, we kind of exhibit these cattle early on at 600, 700 pounds. And this is kind of the stage where we look at them for the fundamental characteristics of meat and muscle, but also aesthetically. And so we're looking for that ideal market, that ideal progress animal to continue on to go ahead and take to a Fort Worth stock show. And so this is kind of the training ground for these young cattle. Time to get them out and get them used to facilities and showing and being around people. Steer like this will go on to the Fort Worth stock show. This is one of my first times to come to Texas to evaluate a prospect show, and it's as good as anywhere. I've been all the way back to Ohio, up in the Midwest, and all over the country, and this has been absolutely one of my favorite ones to judge here today. A great show. The steer that stands behind me, I thought just stood for so much, just good cattle, complete steer. He's fresh and good necked, a steer that has a lot of dimension and width to him, and he's made right. You can tell how he's built, and his hip and his hind leg just really attractive. I thought real complete calf, and just one that hit me just right. I knew when he came through in that main division and his class that he was going to be one of those ones that was going to contend real heavy for this grand champion overall.
One of the benefits of being at a state fair like this, well, you never know who you're going to run into. This year we ran into Justana Tate, and I've got a feeling we're going to be seeing her around for quite a while. Justana, you just came out of the show ring. Very nice job today. Tell me about this steer and what happened in there.
Well, I love American cattle. We're from Texas, so a lot of other states don't really have American cattle, but that's something that we've raised ever since I was young. So I didn't raise my steer today, but I've raised a lot of my steers, and so we've had this steer we haven't had him as long as you'd usually have a steer. We've only had him for about 6 months. He weighed 1,205 pounds, and he was the champion lightweight American.
So, but I also know something about you that you just got a very special recognition not too long ago. Tell me about that.
Yes, sir. I was just, I guess I won part of the contest for the National Beef Ambassadors, and it's a program where each state has their own, like I was part of the Texas Beef Ambassador team, and the high point of that gets to go on to the national contest. It's a 4-part contest made of a media interview, consumer promotion, classroom demonstration, and issues response.
Then how many people in that competition, and where was that?
The contest was held in Springsdale, Arkansas, and there were 24 states, I think, represented there. I'm not positive about that. I think it was 24, and 5 make the team.
I know you're a senior in high school this year. Where do you see the progression from showing cattle, being the beef ambassador? Where do you see this progression taking you in life?
Well, I think the National Beef Ambassador is definitely going to take me far, and stock showing is such a great opportunity, and I think it gives you a lot of values and teaches you a lot of responsibility. I think I want to major in ag communications, ag business, and I'm not sure exactly where I want to go with that, but I know I want to stay somewhere within the beef community and advocating and that type of thing.
Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the big win, and congratulations on being the beef ambassador.
Yes, thank you so much.
Stock Show Confidential is brought to you by the following sponsors: Sullivan Show Supply and Stock Show University, Sure Champ, Sunglow Feeds, 5-Star Ford, Justin Discount Boots and Cowboy Outfitters, EB Trailers, Liberson Livestock, and StockshowConfidential.com. For the ultimate in show cattle transportation, look no further than the EB Rough Deck with the Final Drive Option Package. They'll put you in command of the road and the show. With the same construction on gates, floors, latches, and doors as the EB commercial semi-trailers, you can be sure your trailer will not only look great, but perform like a champ for years to come. Check out EB's full line at your local dealer or on their website, www.mheb.com. Make my first choice in livestock trailers yours too, EB Trailers. Well, welcome back, friends. Right now we're going to introduce you to one of our new products called Standalone Feeds. Now, it's a product that's designed to put you in the winner's circle. Well, howdy everybody, I'm Terry Jordan for Stockshow Confidential. Well, I'm standing alongside of Jonathan from Standalone Feed. We'd like to welcome them as one of our new sponsors. Now, Jonathan, let's talk about Standalone Feed, how the concept started, what gave you the idea. There's a lot of product out there on the market. What makes yours different?
Well, when we first looked at it, we thought, there seemed to be a place for a new product. You go out there and look, and a lot of their products out there only address one symptom of, raising livestock, whether it's promoting hair growth or finish. They just do one thing at a time. So we really felt there was a need for a product that maybe could, encapsulate everything right there in one product. And so our idea is if we could do that, make a product that works great and offer it at a competitive price, we could be real successful.
When we talk about developing new products like that, how long does it take to research and test that product before you actually go to market?
Well, from the time we first had the idea till we released it, it probably took about 6 months. Just from figuring out what we wanted to put in there and then doing the research to make sure, you do everything at the proper levels and do the nutrients the right way, to testing it and having some guys try it out and taking that feedback and tweaking things if you need to, and making sure when you release the product you got something that's one of a kind and does the right job.
We really believe in Standalone. We feed it to all of our cattle at home that my own personal kids show, but also to all of my customers. We try to push it on them because it's an additive that helps keep them fresh all year, and it really gives them that extra bloom that you need when we go to shows all summer long. And then when you get to a fat show, we're feeding the high fat content to help give them that extra finish that we really, really like. Because sometimes it's hard for some people to feed corn or something, and that high fat product that they have is really, really good, that we really like to push on our customers too. Feeding the product is pretty simple. It comes in a nice container. It's really simple, and the cattle it's really palatable for the cattle. The cattle really like it because it's a molasses type basis. It has that smell and taste to it, and they really like it. Standalone, that's a perfect name because it does. It stands alone by itself.
On feeding these show steers, one of the products we've used that we really like to promote and seeing some outstanding results is this Standalone product. Kind of using it for several different reasons and several different things. One of the reasons we use it, it promotes and stimulates good appetite. Unlike when you're using oils and other types of products to put fat and condition on them, this won't raise their body temperature to make them any warmer, their body temperature to where they will eat and do well in the summertime and put condition for, say, like this State Fair of Texas here in October, where it's been so warm, even warm today, coming into the show to these cattle will perform and eat and gain the 3 to 4 pound a day range, so we can make these things highly competitive here. When we enter that ring in there, here in just a little bit, it's a beauty contest. You've got to have an outstanding animal. It's got to be sound. He's got to move good, but hey, his presentation has to be right. Their skin, their hair, we don't see any types of dandruff, flakes, and stuff like that by feeding this. It puts about a perfect kind of shine and condition on these cattle. But a lot of the reason I like to feed it, adds probably a little bit quicker cover than having to start feed corn and stuff like that. It just adds a little advantage and softens them up a little bit as we are feeding them, going into any of these shows and starting them on when they're calves, and even mixing it into some of our feeds as baby calves and stuff. We're getting some real good results doing that.
Well, if you're headed to a major show or a county fair, If you want to stand alone, there's no better product than Standalone Feed. Jonathan, thanks so much for joining us, and we wish you good luck. Now, if someone wants to get a hold of you guys to find out a little bit more about the product, how would they go about that?
Well, you can go to standalonefeed.com and view our website. There's a contact email and phone number, as well as a list of our dealers. So you can contact any one of our dealers and find who's closest to you in your neighborhood. If you don't have one close to you, you can order online at standalonefeed.com, and we'll ship it right to your door.
Cool, thanks.
Yep, thank you.
Each and every week on Stockshow Confidential, we're going to highlight one of the many Sunglow product users on our featured Sunglow Spotlight. On this week's Sunglow Spotlight, we'd like to shine the spotlight on Baylor Bonham from Newcastle, Oklahoma. Congratulations, Baylor. Sunglow Feed, show ring proven. Their feeds have been developed over time to meet your animal's individual needs. One of the largest animal nutrition staffs and research programs in the world. The Sunglow product line blends nutritional technology with practical application to meet the unique needs of the show circuit. Sunglow feeds and specialty products optimized by Showmaster for the look of a champion. Check them out, sunglowfeeds.com. Friends, I'm here with Jim Reeves, and he is the Executive Director for the Texas 4-H Foundation. Now, Jim, new event here at the State Fair of Texas. I know this has been a long-term dream of yours to be able to do a function like this. Back up to the beginning and tell me how this concept started, and then we're going to talk more about the event.
Well, Terry, I've always, in my career, throughout the years as a breed executive in some beef breeds, I've always found myself gravitating towards our youth programs. I'm one that believes unless we touch the lives of this next generation, we're in trouble in this nation. As I've traveled around the world, I can tell you what separates the United States of America from the other countries, and I've been in most all of them, is the strength of our agricultural program. And so when I decided to make a move out of the beef cattle industry and accepted an invitation to come into Texas A&M system and take over their 4-H Foundation, one of the first activities that I had the privilege of attending, this was 10 years ago, was our state 4-H horse show in Abilene. And when I arrived in Abilene, one of the first events I went to was tie-down calf roping, and I was so amazed. I saw little people that were melting off of saddles down that rope and tying these calves in the low teens. And I was saying, how come I didn't know about this? And I had seen some RFD things on some youth rodeos, but I never had really paid that much attention to it. But as I spent the week there and saw the talent that these Texas young people had, I said, this is a story that has to be told. Being a superintendent here, seems like most of my life at the state fair, I contacted Darryl Real, and we started working on this thing, and finally about 2 years ago we got enough traction to get down to the final planning stages. And he says, all right, tell me about it. And I said, well, we'll invite Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma to bring their best kiddos in 4-H, equestrian or equine side, and especially in the speed events down here. And we'll have a shootout, and I'll spell that with a CH instead of SHOOT. It's a shootout. So that caught on, and from there we started bringing in some corporate sponsorships. We got Anderson Bean, who has been such a fantastic supporter of the Texas 4-H program, and also having personal relationship with NRS, talking to David up there. They wanted to kick in. So what you see here today is the results of about an 8-year passion that I've had to get these kiddos out to where people can see the type of skill and training and animal horsemanship, respect for animals that we have in this group of kids. And so I'm just, this today is giving birth without the pain for me.
Well, that's one of the neat things about the concept is you took the top 10 out of each state, brought them here. And so we've got around 40 contestants in barrels, poles, breakaway roping, tie down roping. Now we're going to come back for the short go, and we're going to bring the top 5 times back for the short go. So this is going to be a really exciting event. I know you guys, along with your sponsors, saddles, buckles, $5,000 added money in there. So this is a great concept, and I know it's going to go for a long, long time. This is a great event.
I hope you're right, Terry, because this being our first, and it's run very smoothly thanks to a lot of volunteer help and the state fair personnel here. It really has gone smoothly. This is just one more little chapter of what's going on in Texas. We've got kiddos out here that I hope that even this activity might encourage them to stay with production, animal agriculture, and join the capable people across this nation that are producing the food and fiber for us. But certainly there are a lot of things you can learn from a horse.
Well, friends, thanks once again for joining us on another edition of Stock Show Confidential. As we close it out from the State Fair of Texas, well, thanks for watching each and every week, and well, we hope to see you down the trail someplace, but more importantly, here's hoping that we'll see you in the winner's circle. Closed captioning brought to you by Stand Alone Feeds.